I'm making somewhat good progress on taking some of these boulders up to where the garden is. I'm trying to sort through them as I kind of pull them out to see like what will actually work up there. I don't want to just take them, drop them, and then have to do the work again. So I'm sort of just picking up the ones I think I can use as I build that wall up there. So far so good. It'd be nice to get maybe 2 or 3 bigger ones. I'm starting to deal with some like thin, big, flat guys which can be stacked. But Dayna and I want to put in a fire pit, you know, a big round fire pit level between, you know, like just on the outside of our little garden up there where the carport is. And I really wasn't going to work on that, but I think in an effort to kind of make life a little easier later, rather than just not take some of the rocks from down here, I think I might go up and actually mark the big circle that I'm going to dig out and cut out for the pit. And that way any rocks that might not be good for the accessory building base or the garden, I can use for the fire pit. I'm going to basically just bring up at the end and start dropping them outside that circle. That way as I dig out, maybe I can just kind of piece those rocks in for the fire pit. But we're making pretty good progress. Like I said, I didn't really want to leave the camera on because it's kind of annoying trying to move it from here up to there and then back and so on and so forth. But I'm kind of left with some nice rocks, but nothing is really big or flat where I need it. So we're just going to start taking the biggest ones up there and see what I can do with them. But I'll set you up for the fire pit once I maybe mark that out and start working on that. But I'm going to try and kind of multitask between the fire pit, the garden, and the accessory building rocks. So we'll see how that works out. So let me show you real quick. If you can remember the other day, this area from probably right around here all the way around had a ton of boulders, and those were rocks and boulders and stuff that were set aside when we originally installed the septic system. This is what you see right here is what's left with it, which is chump change compared to what's here. Most of the larger boulders went up to create a retaining wall in the back left corner of the future garden. The other stones went up here to kind of use in the fire pit area, which I'll walk you guys up and show you. Of course, the camera shut off right when I got started with the rocks yesterday, which sometimes I get disappointed. You know, I have to put the phone into charge, and most of the times it's because I'm out of memory too. So one or the other, either I ran out of storage or I ran out of battery, whichever happens first. But, you know, really I kind of wanted you guys to see what I was doing yesterday, which was, you know, I brought the machine down. You know, some of these boulders probably weigh 150, 200 pounds. Some of these smaller ones, maybe 50 to 100 pounds. And, you know, when they get to be a certain flat in size, you know, I don't want to just kind of scoop one stone up and take it up there. It's a waste of a trip with the machine. So I was kind of setting the bucket on the ground and hand rolling a lot of these bigger ones into the bucket so that I could fit 3 or 4 before I, you know, cruised up, or, you know, put 2 or 3 like 50-pound rocks in there and then use the very last little bit to scoop up the big boulder, kind of hold it and crawl up the hill. So it's a shame I didn't get a lot of that on tape, because the first couple that I set were probably 200-300 pound like long rocks that I kind of set at like, you know, 12, 1, and 3, or, you know, 12, 1, and whatever, 9, no, 12, 3, and 9. Anyway, and everything after that, you know, it got a little bit smaller in the front and then sort of built back up again in the back. I didn't get everything I needed to finish that off. And that's because I really can't find the right rock to use. I don't want to have to really stack rock in the back portion. If I can find 2 or 3 really nice size, you know, boulder rocks that I can finish that off with, that'll be perfect. So what I'm going to kind of focus on today is getting the rest of these out of here, taking them up and either dropping them, like I said before, either at the accessory building or at the garden for future use. But at least it clears out all of the rocks from down here. I can basically do what I did yesterday and come back, kind of feather the dirt. That way I can kind of grass seed hay and be done down here. Don't have to worry about coming down here anymore for rocks. But once I get these up there and sort of set into a pile somewhere in the garden, I'm pretty much going to spend the day focused on bringing the rest of that dirt pile down and getting it dropped in the garden to grade off that back portion. If I can knock out all that dirt from up top down bottom today, that would be awesome. Any further than that will be icing on the cake. All right, guys, so I've made a couple trips with some dirt down to the garden just to kind of get a feel for the up and back. There's really nothing special about it. I think it's going to just be some monotony over the next ton of hours, but I'll give you an idea of one up and back. Pretty much one up and back in real time. That was probably about, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm gonna actually take the camera down there so you guys can watch it fill, and we'll just run it out until the camera's out of battery, out of storage.